Happy Monday, everybody, and welcome back to the Sharp Sports Report here on August 3rd, 2026. And guess what? We have football this week. Granted, it's the Hall of Fame game, and it's going to be a bunch of, second, third, and fourth string guys and practice squad guys playing. But there is finally football this Thursday. Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals, Hall of Fame game, Canton, Ohio. Cannot wait. But listen, the dust has officially settled down in Chicago from Big Ten Media Days. The storylines are set, and fall camps are opening across the country this week. We are now 4 Saturdays away from college football. Now, the Big Ten, an 18-team super conference that spans from coast to coast, everyone wants to talk about schedule variance and travel fatigue. But when you strip away the background noise and look at actual high-level football architecture, who has the quarterback play, the trench depth, and the schematic floor to reach Indianapolis in December? There is a distinct tier at the top. So this morning I'm going to be laying down my definitive preseason top 4 in the Big Ten. No dark horse flyers, no speculative fluff, just the 4 teams best positioned to dominate the Big Ten. So grab your coffee this morning, lock in with me, and let's dive right in. If you have been following our YouTube channel, you probably already got a sneak peek about what I'm going to be mentioning today. But let's dive right into it. Let's start at the very top with Ohio State. Ryan Day enters this fall under a clear national championship or bust mandate, and he has the roster to deliver on it. The entire engine runs through quarterback Julian Sayin, who enters his second year operating this offense with elite pre-snap command. When you pair Sayin's operational efficiency with Jeremiah Smith, the single most explosive, unguardable wide receiver in college football, Ohio State's horizontal stretching capabilities force opposing safety shells into impossible leverage decisions. Defensively, their front 7 remains a national brick wall. They don't just win line of scrimmage battles, they dictate passing down geometry. So until someone can prove that they can outscore or just out-physical this roster, Ohio State is the undisputed number 1 in the conference. Number 2, West Coast powerhouse Oregon. Dan Lanning and his boys, if you thought Oregon was going to suffer an integration hangover in the Big Ten, Lanning's program completely erased that narrative. They didn't just adapt to the Big Ten's physical style of play, they brought their very own brand of trench dominance. And with Dante Moore coming back and stepping into Will Stein's offense at quarterback, Oregon possesses a hyper-efficient signal caller who thrives in middle field distribution and intermediate spatial playmaking. And their defensive front rotates heavy bodies without losing edge speed. So Oregon doesn't just win games. They wear teams down over 4 quarters. They are a lock for a serious postseason contention. But the question still remains with Dan Lanning and his Oregon team, can they get to a national championship? They can reach the playoffs, but it seems like every time they do, they fall short. They hit a wall. He gets out-coached, just flat out out-coached. So does Dan Lanning, have the juice this year? Does he have a different scheme that he can put together to get Oregon over the hump and to the big game? We'll have to see. Number 3, Coach Sig and his boys down at IU. And let's make one thing clear about Coach Sig. This is not a fluke or a feel-good story. He has built a genuine heavyweight in Bloomington. Cignetti's program identity is rooted in absolute, unrelenting execution. The Hoosiers don't beat themselves with unforced errors, pre-snap penalties, or even blown coverage assignments. Their offensive line play, anchored by veterans like Carter Smith, controls the tempo of the game and keeps their offense ahead of the sticks. And on the defensive side, Bryant Haynes' unit plays downhill with brutal physical edge. Indiana forces you to execute 10 to 12 play drives just to get into field goal range. That structural discipline gives them a massive weekly floor, making them a nightmare matchup for anybody on their schedule. And for Coach Sig, once again, it's another year where it seems like everyone is downplaying IU as a team, even though they just came off a national championship. They're not even favored to repeat, which, granted, it's very difficult to repeat. But you have Coach Sig, you have a bunch of returning guys, you still have a great roster. It's going to be interesting to see how this quarterback does that they got in off transfer. I'm interested to see how Coach Sig handles the success he had last year. And then on to number 4. This was hard for me to pick just because I am a Notre Dame fan. But number 4, USC. Lincoln Riley enters this season with a retooled, explosive offensive unit led by fifth-year senior quarterback Jayden Maiava. Maiava brings his veteran poise, elite arm strength, and deep ball placement that fits Riley's perimeter shot creation concepts. The key for USC this season, though, isn't scoring points. They're going to score 35 a night with their eyes closed. But what it comes down to is structural growth on defense. If their defensive front can simply set a physical edge against power rushing attacks and generate organic pass rushes on 3rd and long, USC's offensive firepower is going to win them a ton of high-stakes football games in November. And I don't know if you guys watched a clip from Big Ten Media Days, and especially Lincoln Riley. He said he hopes he's here when talking about the whole Notre Dame-USC rivalry. He even said he hopes he's still at USC if the rivalry kicks back on. So that kind of tells me that he's on the hot seat right now. If he doesn't make the playoff, if he doesn't have a successful season, which in USC eyes is, 10, 11 wins, he might be gone. He might be out as the Trojans head coach, and who knows where he goes after that. But there are some big storylines here in the Big Ten. But that's my definitive Big Ten top 4 heading into fall camp. Ohio State at 1, Oregon at 2, Indiana at 3, and USC at 4. Man, you guys let me know. Did I leave Michigan or Penn State out of the top 4 too early? Who is your pick to win the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis come this December? Drop your rankings below on this episode, whether on Spotify or YouTube. Looking forward to seeing what you guys have as your top 4. I always love seeing what you guys have to say as well. But hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube so you never miss an episode every Monday and Thursday morning. Keep your notifications locked on for TikTok as well and YouTube because we post shorts, we post little reels here and there. But I appreciate you guys starting your week with me this Monday morning. Stay locked to the tape, stay disciplined, and I will catch you on Thursday morning.